Hi, Sofakingdrunk, back again in the kitchen of dreams with the answers to all the questions. I want to thank everyone for taking time to put a little question down in the remarks. So I'm going to start any order and I'm going to be as truthful as I can. Right, first question from the Ryan Latto. Thanks for your question, Ryan. It says, hey Sofa King, love your videos. I was wondering, I've seen you wear a few band t-shirts in your videos. I was wondering, what is your top 5 bands? Hey, top 5 bands. Well, I'm right into my music. Love music, Ryan. My top 5 bands probably are Metallica, big Metallica fan, Motorhead, big Lemmy Kilmister fan, Pink Floyd. Way back in the day, I loved Pink Floyd. Who else would I put in there? AC/DC as well, seen them live. And who would I put in my top 5? God, there's so many different bands that I could have put in there. I'm probably going to hit back at an old one from the 60s and the 70s who got me into, it was my older cousin that got me into them. It was like Creedence Clearwater Revival, CCR, a lot of really good hits. So anyway, that's my top 5 bands. Genre of music, I'll listen to anything and everything. Just now I'm listening to a lot of like this new style country that's out. It's like Renegade. It's like country version of rappers. They're singing about drugs and murder and all sorts of stuff. It's good stuff. So anyway, thanks Ryan for your question. Next one from Michael Taylor, 2402. Thanks Michael for your question. What is your all-time favourite stout and porter? Well, all-time favourite stout is got to be Guinness. If someone was to say to me you could only have one beer for the rest of your life, what would it be? I would have to pick Guinness. It's an absolutely first class drink. If it's kept well and it's pouring well, nothing beats it on its day. Porters, oh, I wouldn't say. What would I go with? Porters. My favourite porter. I would have to say quite possibly, there's one I've had a few times and you can only get it in the bottle shops, and it's from the Orkney Brewery, and it's at Orkney, I can't remember the name of it. It's the Orkney Brewery anyway, and it's their porter, and it's round about the, if I can remember right, it's round about the 7 or 8%. I've had it a few times. That is a class porter. Anyway, Michael, thanks for your question. Moving on to the Hoppy Traveller. Thanks, Hoppy Traveller, for your question. What are your favourite bands to listen to and why? Well, I've just given you my favourite bands. I grew up, as I'll touch on, cousin again, he was right into bands like Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, all the heavy bands when I was a kid. Status Quo, bands like that. I used to go on holiday and he'd be playing them in his car, listening to them. And you know, I get into the rock music in my early teens. I was right into it. And then it progressed, and then you find other bands yourself. Like, so by watching, back in my day, it was like Top of the Pops. But you saw these bands, and then of course on the radio you would hear the odd track and go, oh, that's quite good. You'd look into it, or you would buy the tape or the album. That was before CDs or downloading your music. It was mostly a rock background I've got, although I do like a lot of genres. As I touched on with Ryan's question, I do like things like the sort of this new wave of country. It's out just now. It's not all this singing about cowboys and sweethearts. It's all sort of like talking about drugs and murder and stuff like that. It's like cowboy hippies. They're like, there's a guy I'm listening to just now. His name's Jody Jinks, and he's got a song called "Must Be the Whiskey," and he's got another one called "The Gypsies and the Cowboys." I like stuff like that. Guys like Jaden. What's Jaden called again? The Hillside Devil. I like him. I like who else? Oh, the names escape me as I try to speak, but I'm reading there for you. So anyway, thanks very much, Michael. My all-time favourite band, I'll touch on it, is probably Pink Floyd. Genesis is another one as well. I like Genesis as well. I was never really a big Rolling Stones. And The Who. Yeah, there's another band I like as well, The Who. So anyway, there you go. I hope that clears something up for you. Hoppy Traveller, thanks for your question. Grant McNabb. Alright, Grant, thanks for your question. Have you tried brewing your own beers? And if so, what's your favourite kit to brew? Never tried brewing my own beers because I ain't got the patience for it. But a while ago, I don't know if you want to Google or go in and search for it, I done Simtex cider. I found out how to brew cider, and I brewed quite a lot of it about, how long ago would that have been? About nearly 6 years ago. And I used different yeasts in it. And the one that really worked well was the one that was champagne yeast in it. It made a really, really good cider, but there is a video of me opening it, and I had it in a Grolsch bottle, and it almost blew the ceiling off. the pressure in the bottle. It was, so I called it Simtex cider, and don't get me wrong, it's pretty lethal. It was pretty lethal, but for brewing beers, I ain't got the time or the patience for it, Grant. So I hope that answered your question, mate. So anyway, moving on. Wolf Anderson the third. Thank you, Wolf. That's a cool name, that, Wolf Anderson the third. What is your favourite country you've been to? Favourite countries I've been to, I've jumped about a bit, but I would say my favourite country in Europe it's got to be Germany. Been to Germany quite a lot. I've enjoyed it. I just find that the Germans do everything right. Obviously the beer, even the food. Anywhere you go, everything runs on time, everything's spotless. If they say they're going to do something, it's done there and then. There's none of this excuses what we have to suffer back here in the UK. So I would say Germany. Obviously Ireland, because of my parents. Been to Ireland the most ever. Ireland as well. And a good third for me is Poland. I'm going back there again to Poland. I love Poland. I love the Polish people, very friendly, and there's a good vibe about Poland, the Polish cities. Been a few places, been to America, been to Mexico, been to Canada. Jumped about a lot of places in Europe I've been to. This year I was in France, quite enjoyed it. It was always one of those countries I was never going to go to, but I ended up going, and I really, really enjoy it, and I will go back. Been to Holland, been to obviously Spain, been to Spanish Islands, try to think now, been to Czech Republic. I really, I'm struggling here to think where I've been. Well, I've been to quite a lot of Europe anyway, and I will continue to do that. So anyway, I hope that answers that. Wolf the third, cool name, mate. Get a wee slip of cider. It's a Merrydown, drinking Merrydown cider. Beardy beer reviews. Brett, shout out to Brett. How you doing, Brett? Which 5 new beer tubers do you watch and enjoy watching? Well, I have to confess, I don't really watch a lot of new beer tubers. I've got a select few that I like. I've discovered a few. I've got a select few that probably think I don't bother my chorus and verse watching, but I do watch them. But sometimes I don't comment. I do. The guys I watch Barry, All the Beer, No Idea. I watch Northern Southern, JB. I watch Simo Sups. I watch the geezer himself, Rate My Beer, Paul and Michelle. I watch, who else do I watch? Don's Beer Reviews. I would say that's probably the 5 I watch. But occasionally I have stumbled across someone I watch a couple of videos, but I'm pretty, to be honest, I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning for work, and when I come in at night, I'm coming in about 6:30 at night. By the time I get myself sorted out and have something to eat, I've only got a couple of hours, and sometimes I just put on YouTube and watch what's on YouTube, whatever it is. So Monday to Friday I'm pretty goose that way. At the weekend then you're catching up, doing stuff, and I also go to the football and stuff like that as well. So a Saturday to me can be get up really early, and then it's Saturday night before I know it, and then a Sunday I try and chill out before I get back up again, start the week again at 4 o'clock in the morning. So there you go, Brett. That's just the way it is. It's shit being me. Anyway, thanks anyway for your question. Moving on, Sloppy Dave 254. How you doing, Dave? That's good. Dave, you kill me with those gags, man. Your timing, your delivery are fantastic. You luggy duggy, crack me up. Anyway, what's your favourite pub in Glasgow, in Edinburgh, or just your favourite pub? Cheers. What's my favourite pub in Glasgow? Oh God. There's some really, really good pubs in Glasgow. Going to the pub in Glasgow is not a big thing for me anymore. But there is some really, really good ones. It's like, if you were coming up to Glasgow in the city centre, you love your craft beers. You've got like your Brewdog in the Merchant City. You've got the Shilling, which is Shilling's just off Renfield Street. Those 2 pubs, you always get a great selection of craft beers. And then if you're wanting cask ale, you've got the Bon Accord. Fantastic pub. I think it was one of the first pubs in Glasgow ever to stock cask ale. And then you've got the State Bar, which is further up the town on Holland Street, and that does really, really good cask ales as well. Then of course you've got famous bars. You've got like the Horseshoe Bar, Drury Lane in the city centre, which is only a couple of minutes walk away from Central Station. What else have we got? You've got loads and loads of these sort of like glitzy glamour pubs that you go in and you pay absolutely ridiculous amounts of money for a bottle of beer or whatever. But I tend to the style of pubs change. I'm more of a traditional type of person. Some really good Irish bars in Glasgow, or a good pub in Gorbals in Glasgow. It's called the Lauriston, which is on Bridge Street. And if you ever do come to Glasgow, you should check out the Lauriston, because it's a bit like a time warp. And that does cask ales, and it's got a fantastic, probably the best pint of Guinness in Glasgow, without a doubt. The best pint of Guinness, and it's a really, really good wee pub. You've got the Lauriston, and then you've got What else have we got? You've got pubs over on the south side, Glasgow. You've got Heritage Bar. There's a pub over there as well. It's open now quite a while. It's called Brody's. That's a good bar as well. Going over to the West End, you've got the Tenants Bar, which Tenants Bar's got about 10 different hand-pulled ales on all the time. That's a good bar. Curler's Bar, and then across from it, and then obviously Great Western Road, Kelvin Bridge area, which is not that far from Tenants Bar, maybe a 10-minute walk. There's a pub up there called In Deep, which it stocks Williams Brothers beers on tap, and I'm nearly sure it is Williams Brothers. And a couple of minutes walk down from that, there's a best bottle shop in Glasgow. It's called Valhalla's Goat, and if you ever come up, you really need, and you're in the Glasgow West End, you really need to visit Valhalla's Goat. Great. And then if you walk past that, there's a subway station at Kelvin Bridge, and there's another one called The Cave, which is a little hidden gem. So there you go. That's in Edinburgh. Anywhere it sells cask ale. Fantastic. There's a little pub in Princess Street that done a lot of cask ale, and the name of it escapes me. It was fantastic. But anywhere in Edinburgh it sells cask ale, you're on for a treat. So anyway, there you go, Dave. I hope that answered your question. So anyway, we've got Brett, Riverboat 99. Thanks for your question, Brett. This is this is one that I haven't got a clue how to answer, Brett. What would be on your Mount Rushmore of beers? My Mount Rushmore of beers? What, Mount Rushmore? That's where all the faces are, the presidents, and that mountain, Mount Rushmore. There'll be a big Guinness sign on it for a start. And I can't remember how many faces is on it. We'll say 4, right? It's got to be a Guinness one on it. I'm going to put 2 stouts on it, actually. Guinness, and then I would say a Lone Brow. And then I'm going to go back to another stout. I'm going to put Beamish Irish Stout. And my 4th one would be Spaten. So 2 German, 2 Irish. And on my Mount Rushmore of stout. So anyway, Brett, Riverboat 99, thanks for that question. That was deep, mate. That was deep. There you go. We've got Fritz Kuhn 2055. And Fritz puts, what was the first beer you had ever drunk? What age? And if you were a beer, what beer would you be? Right, okay. First one, right. What was the first beer you ever drunk? Right, I remember getting a carry out, and it was McEwen's Pale Ales, and I get 6 cans of it. McEwen's Pale Ales. That was my first carry out. It was even my first beer, actually. My first beer, I think it was McEwen's Export. And that was, I must have been about 8 or 9 years old, but my first carry out that I drunk, binge drunk, 6 cans, was McEwen's Pale Ale. We used to get them in green cans with a wee Cavalier on them. What age? I would say 15, maybe. And if you were a beer, what beer would you be? It'd have to be a stout, wouldn't it? It'd have to be a stout. Probably, if I've got to name it, I'll be a Guinness. Thoughts on smoke beer? Well, I've tried a couple of smoke beers, the German ones, and I can never pronounce the name of it, but everyone will know. That one, they call it the bacon beer. It's like a lager. That is absolutely amazing. It's got the lovely sort of smoke charred bacon. Oh, taste, fresh. Oh, absolutely amazing beer. Bacon beer, the German one. I didn't like the same company done one, and it was like a kind of wheat beer. version of it, I didn't like that. To me, that was overpowered with the smoke. There wasn't enough in the taste to balance it out. But the other one, the bacon beer, that was different gravy. So there you go, Fritz. Thanks for your question, mate. Oh, no, wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, sorry, Fritz. What aspect do you value most in beer? This is the last part of Fritz's question. What aspect do I value much in beer? Socialising with it. Good times with it. Celebrating with it. Good friends. But then you've got certain beers they've got to be savoured, not rushed. If you get like a good Belgian quad, you just have to sit and enjoy every sip. Let the temperature come up. The beer tastes different. You're drinking the same beer, but it'll just taste different. It'll release more and more flavours. Mostly socialising through beer, celebrating through beer. Some beers are better than others. We all know that. Every beer has its day. Every beer has its occasion. But I've got to admit the beers are like stouts and stuff like that. Fritz, it's the taste. It's just like it's just moreish. Like you go and you say for talk's sake, you go to an Irish bar, Glasgow. I go to an Irish bar in Glasgow and I drink Guinness and it's pouring well. It's just moreish. Normally if I go to these places there'll be people in there that I'll know, and it's the occasion and the banter being the conversation. It can be good, and that adds to the drinking experience. So thanks very much, Fritz, for your question. We've got one here now from the one that got away. I feel like that myself sometimes. What do you think of the minimum unit cost for alcohol? There's two ways of looking at this. It's now 65 pence a unit in Scotland. When it first got introduced, we saw the price hike going right up, and we look at it, all these buy one get one frees and 3 for a fiver and all that. That all disappeared from us. They don't do beer promotions up here. We don't get happy hours in pubs anymore. We don't get things like that now at all. Although there is ways around it. One of the bars that I drink in, up until from 11 o'clock to 5 o'clock, the pints are £3. And then from 5 o'clock to shutting time, they go up to about £4.20 for a Guinness. Like £3 for a Guinness, and then it goes up to about £4.20 for a Guinness, which I think that's pretty good. There is ways around it. Some bars do it, some bars don't. Looking at it, according to the Scottish Government, they have saved a lot of people's lives with this, because they've outpriced alcohol, and a lot of people can't afford it, that maybe had a drinking problem. But as my late father used to say, cigarettes and alcohol, people will do without food to get them, which is true. So there's arguments on both sides. There is people that will say, yeah, it's doing a lot of good, and then you'll get people that say, no, it's not doing a lot of good. There is people who will skip a meal and go to the pub or buy 20 cigarettes. That's just the way life is. People have got different priorities. Alcohol is getting expensive. It really is expensive. Like I got my shopping and I got a can of craft beer and it was £4 for a can of beer. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But hey ho, that's just the way life is. So anyway, thanks very much, the one that got away, for that question. When he said there, is that a reasonable policy or too much of a nanny state? It's a bit of both. I need to sit in the fence with that one. It is doing a lot of good. There is a lot of addiction. There is a lot of the nanny state. attached to it as well, for the people that can afford it, that grumble about the price. There's not a lot we can do. The government are just tax the arse out it, and then people just raise the prices, don't they? That's just the way life is. So anyway, all a beer no idea. Barry, how old are you for Foxtrot Oscar? How old am I? Barry, I can't believe you are that. You've asked me that question. It says Sofakingdrunk 66. You doing the maths. 66 was the year I was born. How much do you weigh? How much do I weigh? How much do I weigh? I don't know, Barry, to be honest with you. I'm up and down. I yo-yo all the time. So I never weigh myself. So what's the fucking point? You know, when you're putting on weight, your clothes don't fit you no more. My clothes seem to be fitting me, so I'm not putting on much weight. Then he's asking, right, why Celtic not Kilmarnock? Well, I'm a Celtic supporter. I'm a season ticket holder at Celtic Park. Why Celtic not Kilmarnock? Well, for a start off, Barry, if I lived in Kilmarnock, I would support the local team, which would be Kilmarnock. But I don't live in Kilmarnock. So that's why I support Celtic. And all my family supports Celtic. What else has he got? How long do you think I'll do my beer reviews? To be honest with you, I don't really know. I've taken lots and lots of little breaks from the beer review. I quite enjoy it, to be honest with you. I quite enjoy it, and I like seeing some people they do the lives and stuff like that. And I've done a few with Rate My Beer with Paul and Michelle and Simo. I've done with them, and you get a good laugh doing that. But I never seem to have the time, to be honest with you, to do it. But Barry, if I'm going to do one, I'll do one with you. What else has he put on it? How many pints on average can you do in a sitting? My God. How many pints on average? Woof. Now, at the age I am, after you've done the maths, Barry, after you've got your shoes and socks off and counted up what age I am, I would say I could do now maybe 10, 12 pints, and I'd be really drunk. Doing about, say, 12 pints of Guinness, I could, in a pub and a night out. I'd be absolutely out my coconut. Back in the day when I was younger, all day, I just drink all day. I remember going on a trip years and years ago with someone, and they told me, we were in Dublin actually, somebody told me that I had drank 20 pints the day before. And I said, nah, didn't do that. And I went, yeah, you did. You drank 20 pints. So, back in the day, I could just drink forever. I could get up for the moment go until the moment shut and just keep drinking pints. Now, probably anything from 10 to 12 pints in a sitting. But I do sometimes get fed up with beer, and I feel like I can't drink anymore, and if I have a couple of like whiskies or vodkas or something like that, that's me, I'm gone. Which I think that's with a lot of people. So anyway, there you go, Barry. I hope that's answered your question. How much do you weigh? Fucking hell, man. Unbelievable. So anyway, we're going on. Mr. B, Billman's beer reviews. Oh my God. Another one touching on the Celtic thing. If Celtic were a beer, what beer would they be and why? Well, if they were going to be a beer, they'd be an Imperial Stout. Because, and why? Imperial Stout, because, what's the why on the Imperial Stout? I don't want to come across as too cocky, because I know football changes. Because they're the top now. They're the creme de la creme in the country, and they have been now for quite a while in Scotland, and that's basically it. That's basically it. They'd be an imperial stout, Mr. B, Greg. And if anyone here who is a Rangers supporter or anything like that, listen, I want you guys to come back, and I want you guys to, because we cannot survive without you guys. That's basically it. That's basically it. We want the challenge. We're getting it this year from Aberdeen, but their bottle will crash. So anyway, cheers Greg for that. So anyway, my last question. I've bored the arse off yous enough, guys. James Digweed 5687. What is the most you have ever drunk during a session? Well, I've been told it's 20 pints. So it is. I've been told that it was 20 pints in Dublin. 20 pints Guinness. I remember once, God rest the guy, my old brother-in-law, an old friend of mine's, Matt, me and him drank 2 litres of whiskey one Christmas night. That was quite a fair drink. But I would probably go to say the most I've ever drunk in my life is, if my mate's to be believed, and I'm not disbelieving him because he's adamant I done it, the 20 pints in Dublin. So anyway, there we go. I managed to get my questions out. So anyway, my wee cider's finished. A shout out and a big thank you to everyone who put a question down. Thanks very much. And I might be doing another one of these in about another 10 years or something when I've retired. So anyway, ciao for now. Keep drinking good beers out there, and thanks for your support for my channel. I know I don't do lives or anything, and there is people who have asked me, would you do a live, would you do this, would you do that, and I never seem to get the time. But thank you very, very much for all your comments. There's loads of you guys out there frequently comment, and I'm really, really touched by that you take time to watch a video or watch a bit of a video or whatever. It might not be your beer, but do you know what? It is nice as a beer tuber, and there's a few guys on here that done a question that do the beer tubing as well, and it does mean a lot to us that people take a little bit of time and they'll tune in, or they'll put a little notification on your. I never ever ask for hit that like button, do this, subscribe, and I never do that because people that do that, I don't do it. I won't subscribe to them. It doesn't matter if they're good or not. If they say hit that like button, subscribe, and all that, I just will not do it. So there you go. Slangy va. Catch you in another question and answer session. Ciao for now, and thank you all very, very much.